Hello, my family. All right. Let's get this show started. Make sure everything's working as intended. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Get the comments up. Comments are up. Everyone is a Facebook user, so I guess I'm just say your name in the comment because everyone is a Facebook user except for Chris, except for everyone who's on YouTube. But everyone on Facebook, I don't know your name. So just comment as who you are and just say this is so and so. So I'm just gonna say hello to everyone. I mean, wow, this must be new. Oh, you know what? StreamYard did something new recently, and I had to agree to some agreement as they changed something within the program. So I think this is what's happening. They hello Suma. They must have reverted everything back. So let me just show this so you guys can see. Go here, guys, and let them I guess Fluff Chick is his name I can see. Hello. Morning, Anthony. Hello. Let's see. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well and healthy and enjoying a new morning. So there were a few monumental events occurring this weekend, and I don't know how. Good morning. I don't know who you are, Facebook user, but good morning. Hello, Fluff Chick. Yeah, but I know your name because I had looked it up. Who is Fluff Chick? Is that Connie? No. We will. So there were a few monumental events that took place this weekend. Am I Chris yet? No, you're not Chris yet. You're still Facebook user. Your name is not showing. No. It is Connie. Yeah, Connie. Right. Hi, Connie. So a few monumental events, and I usually schedule the MoB TV, the Kaffeeklatsch episodes on Sundays. So that way I just get it done and it's out of the way and I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. Hello, Audrey. Welcome. And the questions can be up. Like people want to leave their questions, they can. So I don't have to worry about, did anyone leave their questions or things like that. Hello, Sherry. Welcome. And somehow I missed it this past Sunday. So I truly apologize. I didn't realize it until this morning around 10. I'm ready for the MoB, right? For the episode. And I'm ready and I'm looking and saying, and we have an agenda for each show. And I'm looking and saying, why is it only up to episode 129? We're not up to episode 130. What's going on? Then I realized, oh man, I didn't even schedule the MoB TV. So I was running around, I was rushing to do that and get it set up and all of that stuff. So my most heartfelt apologies for having it so late for everybody. I truly, truly apologize, guys. Sorry about that. But Audrey kept the streak going. She was ready. Audrey was ready with her questions, I'm sure. So I'm gonna take this off. If you need to, well, I'll leave it up for a little while until everybody feels comfortable getting their names up on StreamYard. How's everyone doing? Take deep breaths. The world is going through some upheaval, so that's okay. We are resilient as a species. We've been through a lot in life and in history. We will continue to go through. Listen, we're awesome. Especially the MoB family is awesome. We go through a lot. It's not letting you grant permissions. I don't know why. I think you have to. I had to agree to some new agreement that StreamYard set up. So that's why. Yeah. So it must be. I think it's on their end. They probably have to work out some kinks, some bugs, or whatever it is, because then I had to say yes. I had to agree to something, and then it let me go in. So maybe something. It's definitely something on their end, for sure. All right, we got a lot of people here, so let me start the shout outs. So huge shout out to everyone. Yeah, I'm getting back into the routine as well because the MoB TV and the CWWs are. I like the CWWs because I can get them done now. Show up as Darth Cookie Monster the Third. No, you're not. But I'm looking forward to it. That should be fun. A huge shout out to everyone on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being part of, shout out. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Thank you for joining us today, this morning. On YouTube as well, we have our CWW episodes, which is up to episode 62. Happy Friday, Facebook user. So at some point, I think the CWWs, because it's Monday through Friday, and at some point we're going to lap and pass our Kaffeeklatsch episodes, because we're only up to episode 130, and we're halfway there already on the CWW shorts. I was going to start creating the Storyteller Academy episodes. I'm going to hold off on that for a little while, only because, there's a lot going on. It's like the MoB Kaffeeklatsch has to be the way it is. It's very free. It's, but it does take time, and we got to make sure that we make the time for it. The CWW, as short as they are, they take research. Like each short, usually the thoughts come from like prominent people who've made great comments, who've shared real profound wisdom. I have to look them up, and I've got to kind of prep them. They're not scripted. I just kind of, as we said, I kind of riff off the top of my head. I have a lot of accumulated wisdom in my very short life, and it's something that I'm trying to do spontaneously, with a spontaneous structure. The structure is that I'm there every day, Monday through Friday. The spontaneity, the looseness is that I kind of just riff on the idea from my own experience. So it's like this creative warrior wisdom is my own experience with a profound thought, and then just try to share it with people. And I try to always be positive. I try to be encouraging, because we have enough negativity on the internet and everywhere, and we need to have some places where it's like you watch this, it's short, it's 5, 6, 7 minutes, and it gets you going for your day, it gets you started. So I try to always be positive on the CWWs. Or I try to be inspirational and uplifting. So between that and the Kaffeeklatches, to start a whole different I won't say channel, because they're all in the same channel, but to start a whole different vein of information, like the Storyteller Academy, it's gonna take a while. So I'm developing it, but it's gonna take a while, Let's see. And yeah, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, the like, and the subscribe, and share the CWWs as much as you can. It's not for the likes, it's not for the views, it's just to share the information that's there. That's kind of the whole thing, All right. Let's see what are people saying. I cannot thank you enough. I don't know who you are, but I'm Anthony. Oh, Anthony. Thanks. I cannot thank you enough for the. You see the names?
Yes, I do.
Oh man, I don't see the names. I'm getting gypped here. I cannot thank you enough for the CWW. It was a kick in the ass to get me to put my insanity on paper. I'm glad it was the kick in the ass that helped to get everything you needed. Who's saying hey, long time? Oh, who said the CWWs are great? After Anthony. 11:37. I'm at 11:37.
Where?
Right after Anthony. Oh, that's Chris. Okay. Yes, Chris. Hey, y'all, long time no see. Just stopping for a few, and then we'll have to get up. Thank you for dropping by. Who's that? Cindy. Hope the horses are all doing well. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Oh, you're always welcome. Love the latest of MS. Yeah, I'm working on the next one, Saints and Monks, which is coming out. Well, we'll get to the updates in a little while, but there are a few things I want to share with all of you. I'm going to take this off. Remove this comment. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Okay, subscribe to the YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Is it showing me as me yet? No, Wendy, but welcome, Wendy. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn the notifications button, and get notified every time a new CWW is uploaded. Yeah, all you gotta do is subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll find out the next time a CW. I try to do them in the morning, but you'll find out every time a new CWW comes up. So please do that, and you'll get that dose of like, hey, you could do this. It's awesome, With the craziness that happened earlier this week, this has become my designated safe space. Yes. 4 years going to be rough. Don't worry about it. Listen, we're awesome. We're awesome people, and it's the world. It's history. It's society. We're resilient as a people. We'll get through whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll get through it. We will. So don't stress it. Don't stress it. Take care of you. Do the best for your mental, physical health. Take care of the people in your world and the people around you that you care for and love, and we'll get together. We'll get through this together as we always do, as we get through everything. We got through a pandemic, people. We were here during the pandemic, and it was a major situation, and we got through it. So this is, we'll get through. We can get through anything. We're the mob. We can get through anything because we are the mob. So Peaches are not protecting Simon. I get a lot of comments. Oh, please pop over to the YouTube channel. It'd be awesome. Then I can see your name. Yeah. I get a lot of comments about Simon getting hit by the pebbles. It's awesome. Yeah, it may or may not show. It might show up because it's also on YouTube as well as here, so it may show up. So it's not that much of an issue. So as I was saying, I get a lot of issues about Peaches not stepping in to protect Simon from the pebble wax. Listen, he's his bondmate, but he doesn't have to protect them from pebbles. It's not life threatening. It's just ego bruising. But I like the fact that Simon thought it was Monty, which was the funny part of that whole section. I'm not gonna give too much away if you haven't read Shield Bearer, but just to let you guys know, the paperbacks are out. They look so good. I mean, these books always look so great, man. DDD is such a Deranged Doctor Design. Ooh, it's over here. I keep moving the camera. Deranged Doctor Design does great on the covers. You can get your signed cover, by author books, and you can get them in. I guess you can get them in paperback, so that's fantastic. It was so good. I wrote it, and I thought, I don't want to leave this book because this is, the story continues obviously in Saints and Monks, right? And now as I was writing it, I'm like, oh, you know how when you get to the end of a book and you realize like you're here on the book, you're like here, right? Like there's this much left, and you realize, wait a minute, not everything has been resolved. I'm like, and I hate doing that. I hate getting to that point in a book and realizing, there's not much book left, and there's a lot more conflict to go. What's happening? But that's where it had to end. So I'll pick up right from there. Well, actually, it's in Shield Bearer. We'll pick up on the Iron Fan Mountain right from there, and then we'll just pick up from there and continue the story. Yeah, actually, Pebbles might be good practice. He's gonna need a lot. There's a lot of practice coming for Simon, unfortunately, and not all of it's painless. So let me continue the shout outs. So a huge shout out on YouTube. Go to @Ben Peaches Publishing. Hit subscribe and like and the notification bell so you know whenever the CWWs come up because they're on the same channel. And just you can follow us there, and you'll know whenever we have an Kaffeeklatsch and whenever the CWWs come out. And please like, comment on the CWWs if you get a chance, because it just helps them grow and helps more people watch it. Let me just put up the thank you for this, whoever you are. Is it you? Thank you for the link. This is the link to our YouTube channel. So please go there, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps us out. We also have Instagram. I haven't been doing much on Instagram, but I'm scheduling stuff. So if you see me over here, I'm just reading our agenda instead of having it over here, because it's closer to the camera. So on this, I haven't been doing much on Instagram, but I will be. I've set up a few things to put it there, and I have my quote creator, so it's going to be excerpts from the books that I'm going to put there. Since I have so many books to choose from, that it's a little daunting what to pick without spoiling stories. So we're on Instagram @BittenPeaches. Here's the link. You can go there and follow us there, and it's just our Bitten Peaches page on Instagram, and you'll see excerpts from the books. You'll see covers. We don't do cover reveals that often, but there are some covers there you'll be able to see, and it's awesome because you saw the Shield Bearer cover. Every cover that Deranged Doctor Design, huge shout out to Deranged Doctor Design. Every cover that they've done looks amazing. The only covers that are on par with Deranged Doctor Design are the Gene Malika design, but those are like movie posters. Those are like amazing. It's a whole different process. Deranged is amazing for what they do with what they have. So it's incredible. Both studios are fantastic. We're also on Zazzle. I saw the lead designer working on designs this morning. I don't know if something's coming up, but I saw her there working on some designs. So you might want to go check out Zazzle and see if anything new at the store. We're at M&S, EMANDES at Zazzle. And here's the link. Go there. Use that link, please, because it has a reference number and it lets our analytics keep track of everything. And that way we can see what's happening on the store. So please go there. Get yourself some swag. Like I said, she's working on something at the store. There might be new things there. So go check it out. Patreon. So if you haven't joined our Patreon, what are you waiting for? Really, you could join for free. You know, they're tiers, but the best tier, the easiest tier is the free tier. Just join us because you get to read. What do you get to read? The first chapter? You get to read the first chapter of stuff. So come join us on Patreon. Here's our Patreon link. Well, don't wait. Just join us. Don't put it off for later. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Just go click on that link and go join us. You can join us for free. So just a huge shout out on Patreon to Scott C, Vicky Grider, Kat Wilson, and Mark Price for upgrading. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. So all of you are, obviously, because you're the mob. And so by default, if you're part of the mob, you're already amazing. These people, these patrons go above and beyond, and you guys really heartfelt thanks for just going above and beyond and supporting us even more. I really do appreciate it. All right, Chris. Yes, StreamYard is going through some changes. I don't know what it is, but you know, it's just like what at least Facebook doesn't, you know, Facebook blindsides you. At least StreamYard kind of gives you a heads up and lets you know what's happening. Facebook is like, this is what happened, deal with it. New UI, too bad, deal with it, you know? So at least with StreamYard, we kind of can anticipate and kind of figure out what's going on, you know? All right, Chris, we have promos. So let's do it. Nicole Grotepas, Uncoil Serpent, Lightbeard School for the Broken. This is still kind of, I guess, in the duo world. Delta Underground Operatives retired. This is book 2 of this series. The covers are really nice. I like the covers. They're kind of old school covers and they look like ancient books. But there's the link. Nicole's one of our mob authors, so go there and check it out. And you know what we do? I don't have to say it at this point. We support our indie authors, right? So maybe a hat. Can you make a hat that says we support our indie authors? I'll get that. That would be awesome. And in addition to Nicole, we have, as I like to say, what is it? I think Dolly did this as Crumley, the Janie Falk Saint Killer book 1. She recently got, I think, #1 new release or #1 bestseller on her Amazon page. So go get this as Crumley. So you know her by the Immortal Doc Holiday, and this is a new series, Janie Falk Saint Killer. I haven't read it, but I hear good things. So again, Crumley is one of our authors. So please go and support, and we support our indie authors. So Nicole and it's hard to say Nicole and and Crumley both having these new books. Go support them, okay? Because that's what we do. We support our indie authors. Maybe we can have WSOIA. Like maybe we support our indie authors, something like that, huh? Okay. Yeah, something like that. Or support indie authors, like SIA. Sia. No, I don't want to be a Sia fan. I don't know, something. So we'll figure out a good acronym because I'm not gonna put Sia. That's not gonna work. Then I gotta dye one half of my beard white and the other half black. It's a whole Sia thing. I gotta only eat black and white cookies. You know, it's not gonna work. All right. The links, I'm going to take you off the link, so please go there. I'm glad. Who said Janie Falk was great? Who's that? Mary Beth. Got it. I can't believe you've got names and I don't have names. I probably have to like reboot. I'm not going to reboot that. Oh, I see. Okay. What would Orlando do? You don't want to be in my mind. Please. You don't want to be there. It's scary. Who's that? Is that Anthony? Yeah, you don't want to be in there. It's a scary place. All right. What time is it? Oh my God, where is the time going? I need to speak to Sid. All right. Let's do some updates. We have Shield Bearer. So as I said, the signed copies are available. So go get, if you like. All right, if you like smell of books and the feel of holding an actual book, not a digital book, and these feel awesome. These are great books. And you want a signed copy? How many did we send out? 8. We have 8 already. We sent out.
What?
How many signed copies do we have?
That we
requested.
5.
5. So already 5 people requested signed copies. We don't get a lot of requests for signed copies, but we get some. And I always like to get the actual book, like the physical book, because I just put it on my bookshelf, which is actually running out of space at this point. I'm gonna have to remove some knickknacks, So, but yeah, get your signed copies. And if you haven't left a review for Shield Bearer, I don't know. Can you check to see where the reviews are for Shield Bearer? I know it's more, like I've always said, I try to read all the reviews. When it gets to 100, I kind of stop because it's a lot of reviews. I know it's a little more than 100 at this point. So, but if you haven't left a review, because I know life is happening, things are going on, but the reviews help the books. So please leave a review for Shield Bearer if you haven't already. Let's see who said. Oh, this is what you can get. This is out for the signed copy, babe.
Yes.
So this is This is a link to get your signed copy if you really want one. Yeah. So yeah, leave your reviews if you haven't left them already. Okay. Update. I'm working on Cold Front, which is the second book in Fate of the Dark Mages, and yeah, it's tough. It's so tough to write romantasy, even with the prompts you guys gave me, and think about how I met Dolly, and it's just tough. So I don't know how long this series is gonna be. I'm looking at a trilogy. See if I can wrap this up in 3 books. I don't know. It might be a pentology. We'll see. It's I won't say it's hard in the sense of I can't get the story out. I definitely can get the story out, but it's a little tough to get the story flowing the way it needs. It's not Monty and Strong, put it that way. And it might be because it's a whole different kind of genre for me. So it's uncomfortable, which I don't mind. I don't mind working outside my comfort zone, but I don't want to work so far out my comfort zone that I don't tell a good story. So I'm trying to walk that tightrope to make sure that, okay, it's outside my comfort zone, but I want to make sure it's a good story. Yeah, it's not Popeye and olive oil. It's definitely not that. Okay, so Cold Front should be coming out. Oh wow, Cold Front will be out this month, right?
Yep.
Cold Front will be out this month. So keep your eyes peeled because it's this month. After Cold Front, Saints and Monks will begin. I already have the outline ready, and you guys already saw that. It kind of started in Shield Bearer, and that one comes out next month. The art will be out for M&S 26 next month, so get ready. So you'll have something to read around the holidays. And let me take off this thing. I didn't read Twilight. I don't think I could put. I saw. Did we see Twilight? I saw. Oh, I saw the first part of it, and I was like, no, I can't do this. No, I can't. Twilight's not gonna happen. But there's also a secret novella that I've been writing along with Cold Front. So I write Cold Front, I get the word quota for that, and then I jump into the secret novella. I can tell you the name. It's Dusk Blader, and it's set in the M&S World. And I think that's all I can really share right now because I don't want to give away too much. But she's badass. Awesome lead character. I think I shared a little bit about the last episode, the last Kaffeeklatsch. So Dusk Blader is going to be coming out next month as well, along with Saints and Monks. It's going to be a really busy month. So you guys have that. Yeah, Oh, there you go, Wendy. Yeah, StreamYard is all wonky. So I apologize, but it's something that's completely out of my control. In addition to, there's a lot of stuff happening this month coming. In addition to the secret novella, Dusk Blader, We also have the next episode for the Bureau, which is at the end of this month, and that's gonna be awesome. I already kind of have it outlined, so it's gonna be fun. That's the one with this is a Patreon thing, so I have to apologize to all of you that are not on Patreon. Get on Patreon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, that kind of thing. Um, this is the story of Carl and Rank. So you guys, it's just getting fun. You guys are, it's. If you're not on Patreon, and I don't want to harp on this too much, but if you're not on Patreon, you're missing out on some really, really fun stories. And the Bureau will eventually become a full novel. So you really would want to jump in and read that before they get their own, because you're gonna be missing some of the things. Like if you've never read Peanut, I feel bad for you. I can't release Peanut to the broader world because it's a Patreon story, but it's such a great little story that I really wish you could all read it. Okay, let's see. I actually met. I'm sorry. Let me go back because there was some messages that I missed. I actually met an indie author at Nashville Farmers Market. Bought 3 books with L3 after I read the second. Please do. That'd be great. It's always great when you guys, any one of us discovers an author, and we could share it with everyone, because especially if it's a good book, please. And let's see. I'm looking forward to going to the book signings next year. It makes you feel more connected to it really does. The 2 times that I went to 20 books at 50K, they had book signs. I didn't have any books to sign. I didn't bring any with me, but I hung around the table because a lot of the authors that were there, I knew. A lot of the authors that were signing, I knew personally, and I kind of hung out there and spoke, and I was talking to them as they were signing books, and spoke to the readers and stuff like that. And it's a great little feel, and it's a nice environment, and you are connecting with readers, so it feels really good. But I would imagine book signings are fun when you have a lot of people coming in to get books signed. I would imagine they're not so fun if you're sitting somewhere waiting for people to come in and you're like alone. So it's a balancing thing. Paige is saying, I went to StreamYard, logged in, and it says FBI has permissions. Any chance your name says, what do you think, Paige? Nope, it doesn't. Not on my side, but it does on Facebook's side, right? Because you can see her. Yeah. So on Facebook, they're okay. StreamYard is wonky today, so don't feel bad. Okay, also big news. Broken Magic, our audiobook, our next audiobook is on pre-order. It's coming out next month. So if you want to get book 18, which is Broken Magic is book 18. You want to pre-order it, you want to get it. It'll be out next month, around the 20th of December. So right in time for Christmas. Get yourself the ideal Christmas gift, which is an M&S audiobook. Yeah, so that's the next audiobook is coming out. Kevin's going to be working on it, and he does amazing work as our narrator. Okay, few things I wanted to ask and maybe get your feel on, because you guys kind of are the really in touch, the really kind of connected group to M&S. So we're on book 25/26, and I try not to read all the reviews, because reviews, everyone has their opinion, and they're entitled to. I'm not knocking reviews. They're that's what they're for. They're there for other readers. 25, 26 books in, do you guys feel like it's the Simon coming to realization moment has been too late, or is it just in time, or what? Like, what are your thoughts on it? I like to hear, because I've gotten several different opinions. It's happening right when it needs to, because he's growing, he's finally getting the point. And I get it should have happened 10 books ago. So I've got a few comments like that. And so I like to hear opinions. I just like to hear what you guys think about Simon's realization that he may not be entirely. Am I spoiling anything? Has anyone here not read Shield Bearer? Because by now you guys should have all read Shield Bearer. But who's that Facebook user? Can you tell me who the last one is?
Mary Beth.
Oh, hi, Mary Beth. Yes, it is hard waiting, and one of the things I want to kind of address that is that I want you to think back to a lot of you may have come to the M&S series now, let's say 24 books in, 22 books in, wherever you stepped into the M&S books, if it was more than the first book, like unless you were here from Tomb Yards and Butterflies, it's been a long wait all along, if you think about it, right? So those of you that came in at Tomb Yards and Butterflies from the beginning, I remember the comments, not from the readers, but from people in general who were following the story. It's like, we don't know anything about these characters. I'm like, and it's like, Chris, you can't save the world in just a few books. You can't know everything about the characters in a book, because then it becomes an info dump, right? So it's like, it takes time. It's a slow, this series has always been a slow burn. And I've had people say, I can't follow it anymore. It's taking too long. And they've done it amicably. They've done it nicely. And I say, okay, I understand, but I'm not going to rush the process, because you can't wait. That's just the way it is. And if you want to come back later on after you've given yourself some time, and we're probably 5 books later, it's not like I'm writing these books every 2 years, and I'm writing them fairly fast. So, let's see. But it's happening as it should in real time. Yeah, it is really happening in real time. Let's see. Wendy says, I waffle back and forth on Simon's enlightenment pace. Sometimes the denial frustrates me, but he's finally coming along. Yeah, sometimes it frustrates me too, Wendy. Paige, I get the time frame of the book is pretty tight, but in real life, 7 years is a long time for Simon to seem so clueless. I don't know. It throws me. I get that. And so you're dealing with the actual time frame, that's life, our time frame, reality, and the book time frame, which is not 7 years. So it throws you, yeah. And if you think about it, if you happen to pick up all 24 books, 25 at this point, you'll get through them. It won't take you 7 years to get through all 25 books. It's just taking them 7 years to write them. So has it taken 7 years to write all these books? Huh? Yeah.
You published in 2017 first.
Yeah, so 7 years.
7 years.
Wow. Thank you, Paige, because I didn't realize the timing was 7 years. It's really been 7 years. Let's see, I'm way behind. I think the last one I read was Archmage. You are 5 books behind, about to be 6 books behind. And we used to wait years between. I know I used to wait years. Who's the last author that I waited years for? Oh, Jim Butcher. It took him 5 years between the last 2 books. And I don't know what's going on with Dresden at this point. So it's taken years to get books. So, and it's not their book. It's not their fault either. When you work with a publishing house, they put you on a schedule. You can't release when you want to release. You have to release according to the publishing house's schedule. So it's not their fault. I'm glad that Simon's getting a clue. He's a smart guy. Sometimes just doesn't want to see what's in front of him. And that is very much like a lot of us, right? We could see something. And when you think about something supernatural, if you ever had something supernatural happen to you, it's hard to accept what's happening to you right in front of your face, because your brain, there's a disconnect, right? You're seeing something and your brain is saying, no way can that be true. This happens with magic, if you think about it, like magic, like stage magicians, where they're doing something and going in, it's an illusion. There's no way that could be true. There's no way they could do that. But it looks so amazing. And the trick is so seamless that your brain, it's a disconnect between what you're seeing and what your brain is accepting. There's no way that could be true. And you know it's an illusion because they tell you it's an illusion. And if you look at Penn and Teller, they reveal it, right? And they say, this is how it's done. And even so, even with all that knowledge, it's hard to accept the illusion when it happens. So imagine Simon's brain. Simon's brain is probably short-circuiting. Suma says the timing is good, but please don't make him go back to his old ways of being naive and don't understand the magic. Well, no, he's not going back, Suma. He's not, because too much has happened. He has matured too much to step back into that. So no. Mostly, who's that? I want to know who's mostly. I just wanted to slap him. Oh, Mary Beth, yes. You're not alone, Mary Beth. You're not alone. It's a lot of books in 7 years. I don't know. I've written more than 25 books in 7 years because the Monty Strong series isn't the only thing I've written in 7 years. I've written a bunch more, so I think I'm a little bit more than 25. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Wendy. That's a lot of books. I love the fact that you stay on your schedule and move forward in getting books out to because I'm a reader, and like right now I'm reading Benedict Jacta, and I just picked up the second book in the Inheritance of Magic series. It's his second series. He took forever with the Alex Verus, but it was so good that I didn't mind. But he took a long time. And with this series, it's the same thing. I have to wait 5, 6, 7 months between books. And it's like I have to put reminders because I'm not going to remember, But yeah, it's if the author's good, his story's good, I'm gonna pick it up. But it just takes too long. I try not to take that long. Let's see, a gallon of Death Wish and a 48 weekend. You can knock out all of them. I agree. I don't even know if you need a gallon. Okay, you do. The gallon of Death Wish is kind of non-negotiable. He says as he drinks his Death Wish. But yeah, I think so. And Simon has learned right on time. Chris says the normal human would reject. Yeah. A normal human thrown into what Simon is experiencing would either have a psychotic break or end up in New York, in Bellevue, which is an insane asylum. And it's hard to accept everything that Simon has gone through at face value. And think about how he has transformed to be able to do what he's doing now, and bond to a hellhound and create a magic missile and a dawn word and be cursed alive. It's a lot. Yeah. Although I would be testing out the whole immortal part like all the time. So it's not Simon, it's the clues he has been given. Actually, that's really a profound way of saying that. Who's that last person?
It's not on my screen.
It's not Simon, it's the clues he's been given.
It's not on my screen.
Okay. Well, whoever you are, last person, that's a profound insight, because a lot of what has been revealed to Simon has been half revealed to Simon, like not entirely. He hasn't been sat down and said, okay, so this is what's happening. And so, and such and such, and given the list of this is what's happening, this is what's happening to you, this is why it's happening, these are all the players behind the scenes that you don't know about. None of that has been revealed to Simon. None of that. So starting from No God is Safe, which is the first time Simon kind of steps into this world entirely, like he really gets involved in a situation where he's up against a goddess and a god, and it's a whole, and the Rakshasas are there. Yeah, how much time has passed? I haven't done a full calculation of how much time has passed in the M&S world, but it's not a lot. I think I'm gonna have to do that, because at the end of each book, it's either 3 days or a week, or not more than that, right? Maybe 2 weeks, I think, has been the most that has passed. So when you think about it, maybe a year, maybe that much time. What do you think? About a year, babe? In the M&S world? More? Less?
More.
Maybe a bit more. I don't know. I'm gonna actually sit down, because you got to go to the end of each book.
It has to be more. If it's 25 books,
Yeah.
let's say each adventure is 1 week max.
Right. Yeah, because it does take
that's-
time. They got to get through the stuff. So it's like 3 days, 5 days, a week or two.
Right.
So 25 books, 1 week max.
And then you also have to have a few days
In between. So about a year. I would say about a year.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm gonna actually calculate though. So let's guesstimate and say about a year. But I'm gonna say a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So Simon's come a long way in about 2 years. So 2 years. That's the story, and we're sticking to it. So I'm gonna say 2 years for now until I actually do a calculation. All right. I think Simon's denialism is his fear of losing his sense of being a human. Another very profound statement. He's really denying because there's a lot of fear in the denialism, for sure. As a special military operator, he and his team had to deal with power gone amok in a normal world. Yes, but that's normal power, right? That's not supernatural power. So it's different. And yeah, I think it's that sense of losing being a human is a really big one. So yeah, I agree. Totally agree with that. Who's that? Who said that?
Which part?
Simon's denialism.
That's Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. And The one where it's the clues he has been given.
That one, the comment does not show up on my screen.
Wow, it's a C. It's maybe it's Simon himself.
I
Ooh.
don't know.
All right. I'm gonna agree with Chris. More than a year, probably about a year and a half to 2 years. Yeah. What about the times when they're just sitting around watching anime? Yeah, I know that's Anthony. um, they're not just those times don't count. What are you talking about? Sitting around watching anime? They don't have any downtime. Wendy says, I do think they need to get some insight and information on raising a hellhound from someone who actually knows. There's a meeting coming up with Hades very soon because they do need to have some insight into that. Because yeah, it's kind of important that they have that. They actually have that information since hellhounds. There's no Hellhounds for Dummies book out there that just, here's how you train a hellhound, here's how you feed a hellhound. So I think all that pastrami might be good short term, but we don't know if that's doing anything harmful to Peaches, because that all that meat, it's got to be, I mean, he's growing, we know that much, but I hope it's not doing any real damage to poor Peaches, who can eat rocks at this point. And so, yeah. And what are you guys' thoughts on the battle form? Is there anything I need to add to the battle form? Because that's kind of open. I can pretty much make the battle form anything, but I don't want to go his cholesterol, especially if he's getting pastrami from Ezra's. The battle form could be kind of anything, but it has to. Okay, I don't want to. Let me not go crazy. It could be kind of anything, but it also has to be within the constraints of the world of M&S. And what a battle form like that would entail, and how it would work with both Simon and Peaches. So, yeah. Hellhound for Dummies at PetSmart every Saturday. Yes, they have classes constantly. And maybe, yeah, you know what? I should just put that in the world, Hellhound for Dummies, and have someone who's an actual Hellhound expert in the book. And like Simon can go meet them. A red shirt contest. I think we need one. We haven't had one since what was the last one? Jeez, it's been a while since the last one. It's so long ago, I don't remember what book it was. I think we need to have a red shirt contest. I'm gonna have one for Saints and Monks. I'm gonna create this because the last red shirt is supposed to create the question for the next red shirt, but I'm gonna create the question for this next red shirt because it's gotta go deep, it's gotta be hard, but it has to be answerable. So yes, there'll be a red shirt contest for Saints and Monks. I'm starting the book soon, so I'll have to come up with a question this or next week, and then start it. Yeah. Let's see. An Anubis wear form with a sword and eye beams. I think that's going a little too far, really. An Anubis wear form. I like it. I like the idea. Yeah, I think from now on, I should always, it's better that way. Because, I kind of know most of the stuff anyway in the story, right? So it makes more sense that I pick it. And that way, if it's too easy or too hard, I'll take the heat. All right, so an Anubis wear form, I haven't really introduced the Egyptian pantheon into the M&S world yet. That doesn't mean it's impossible, because any pantheon is fair game in the M&S world, because they've gone cross pantheons, although we focused on the Greeks. But we have Greek, we have Indian, we have Norse, we have quite a few pantheons in there. So I think there's a Finnish one with Perun. So I might introduce some Egyptian. There's the Daughters of Bast. So we do have some Egyptian, even though Jennifer was Jessica. Why am I thinking Jennifer? Oh, I'm Jennifer from Witcher. I was watching a Witcher thing yesterday. And that's actually more Yennefer than Jennifer, but that's why Yennefer was on my head. Jessica was not liked. She was very polarizing. Everyone kind of disliked her, but she was a daughter of Bast. So yeah. Let's see, more of a wraith in a tattered cloak for Simon in battle form, given his necro powers. Yeah, but that's too cliche. I don't want him to be cliche. If he's gonna have necromancer powers, or at least access to some kind of necromancy, it has to present itself a little differently, given that he's connected to a hellhound. So maybe if you see the cover, what's that book that we have? It's one of these awesome covers with that it has purple on it. I forget. I try to distinguish the covers by the title and the color, and I don't know if it's Broken Magic, which is
Magic is purple and silver.
yeah. There's one where Monty's pointing down. That one, he's like going like But if you see one of the covers, there are wraiths around the two of them. They're undead, and it's maybe something like that. You know, where not Simon as a wraith, but that when he enters this battle form with Peaches, wraiths appear around him. You know, because that would be a great distinguisher for a necromancy aspect for that battle form. That would be awesome. All right, Paige, you do that. I'm gonna do that too because the battle form has to be distinct, and I don't want to make it like any other battle form. It has to be Simon and Peaches. Give him a power like a Ghost Rider that looks awesome. Peaches covered in hellfire. I like that idea. I like the hellfire, but maybe instead of covered in hellfire, because Peaches already has a flame that he can bark out. So maybe have the flames come out of his face, his mouth, or something. You know, he has the the baleful glare, which is also his eyes start glowing, and he has the runes along his flanks, so those can start glowing too. Yeah, yeah, they are. They are kind. I agree, Wendy. They are kind of a hellfire. So I don't want. We can't go over the top because it's just too much, and then you can't see anything, right? Chris is asking Peaches and Rags a date soon. It's been a while. It may not be in M&S because right now they're in Iron Fan Mountain, but in the next Brew and Chew, which is going to be early next year, there might be a date there. I think it would be good to have them hook up a bit, talk, and she could be dismissive of Peaches again, and he could be fawning all over her again. So we'll see. I like the idea of them getting together again, and Cece and Peanut do have some parts to play in what's coming and what's coming up in Mages and Monsters. And then we take a step back a little bit into the mundane with Deadeye. If you see me looking, it's because I have the list of the books that are coming up. So book 28, which is Deadeye, which is a step into book 28 is kind of similar to Requiem, which was Simon's past coming back. Book 28 is Deadeye, which is Simon's past coming back, but this time it's coming back to kill him. So we might have some CC and Peanut have a larger role to play in things like that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do a Lady in the Trap scene, Chris. I don't think that's gonna work too well. And Rags might just smack the heck out of Peaches for trying to pull something like that. Plus, Peaches is not gonna give up any pastrami. That's never gonna work. So yeah, so I doubt that's ever gonna have a pastrami scene, right? Where they both attack the same piece of pastrami, getting closer and closer together, and then end up touch. And then Rags unleashes on Peaches for that. Yeah, not gonna happen. But you know, something similar, something maybe the last piece of pastrami, and Peaches gallantly relinquishes the last piece to Rags because he has that super crush on her. So you never know. We'll see. I'm gonna be interested to see what happens if they ever have pups, Peaches and Rags, because those would be like monsters of another level. Those two together having puppies, and it would be incredible. And we have to take into consideration at some point, Cece has to go for her Jotner test, and will she pass it? Will she fail it? What's going to happen? Because that's alluded to in Shield Bearer. So we'll see what happens there as well. He might shove her. We don't want that, shoving her the last piece of broccoli. We're trying to avoid any kind of healthy meat. Yeah. A sausage. A bunch of sausage links. Instead of spaghetti, they could go to Ezra's and have a bunch of, how they have the sausage in those long links, those roll of links, and they can start at either end and start eating the sausage, and then they touch. That'd be so sweet. Anyway, and then Peaches would try to chomp his head off. Yeah. Rags would try to chomp Peaches' head off. That wouldn't work so well. Temple hellhounds might be guardians for Simon's home in the underworld. Yeah. I don't know if we could have temple hellhounds. That's more Chinese mythology, right? It's a Chinese mythos. The food dogs that Dresden uses. So in Butcher's books, in the Dresden's dog. Jeez, how does his name escape me? Oh my God, Mouse is a food dog, which belongs to the Chinese mythos. So I don't know if I want to use temple hellhounds, because when you connect them to a temple, you have to think about what mythos they're going to be connected to. The same way Cerberus guards the underworld, he doesn't guard a temple. He guards the entire underworld, which is a whole different thing. And Peaches can't be a guardian in the underworld, which is where Simon's home is, because technically, the underworld falls under Cerberus's protection or guardianship. And the whole deal about, if, like, what we have in our world, in our stories, if Peaches ends up encountering his dad, Cerberus will try to destroy him. It's a Highlander thing. There can be only one. So maybe not a temple guardian or temple hellhound, but something else. And there has to be some kind of caveat to have Peaches in the underworld with Simon. Although I think Simon's house would be in Elysium, so it's a whole different area. We'll see. Yes, it is. It is a Greek origins meaning spot. They'll be the first couple of the series to have their first kiss. Yes, they would be. That's a different book. That's Dark Mages. Okay, we've got to get to the questions. So let's step away from this kissing stuff. Nose to nose, who eats whose face? That's a good question. Can already see the movie in my mind. You guys are hilarious. All right, questions. Thank you, Audrey, for your questions. If you guys have any questions, this is the time to put it. I know that was because it was really late, and I apologize for that. But if you do have a question, even if it's a question referring to, yes, I am blushing. I am. Even if it's referring to shield bearer, please submit them here. Okay, so here we go. Audrey asked the question. You guys are horrible. Orlando, what was the best money you ever spent? So the question's over here. That's why I'm looking this way. And the laughing you hear in the background is my lovely wife, Dolly. What was the best money you ever spent as a writer? The best money I ever spent as a writer was getting my books edited. That was a considerable cost. And getting a professional cover. That was the best money I spent as a writer, because it allowed my books to first get noticed and to sell well. And as a writer, you want your stories out in the world, getting noticed and selling and people reading your stuff. I didn't realize that I tried to do my first cover. I did my first cover on my own, and it didn't go so well. And so I would really say the cover was key, because the cover is kind of the first introduction to a new reader. Whatever the cover, like if you see a cover, and like I see this cover, I say, okay, I want to read this, and not because I'm biased that I wrote the book, but because I look at the cover and I go, wow, that cover looks really good. I want to know what this is about, And so every author that's aspiring, every author that I know that wants to write, I tell them to invest in those three things: your cover, your editing, and your description, your blurb. Those are so important, because, and so the blurb doesn't cost any money. It just costs you being creative and condensing your entire story, however many words, into a few sentences, which is one of the hardest things you're going to do as an author. But your cover and the editing do cost money, and you have to pay for them. So, unless you have an amazing wife who can do editing, or an amazing partner that can do editing, it's going to cost you a lot, depending on who you use. But it's an investment. It's not an expenditure. It's really an investment if you can find a great editor. The cover, same thing. Between the two studios that I use, like I only use Gene Malika for the Night Warden books, which is Gray and Coda, and you can see the difference in those books between. And I'm always amazed that those books aren't like off the charts selling, because the covers are just insanely good, right? But between the two studios I use, one is really high end. Gene Malika is a boutique studio, so it's really high end. I never recommend a starting author to Gene Malika because he's not cheap, you know. But it's worthwhile because if you look at his covers and what he does, and the original artwork that he gives you for his covers, you can take that original artwork, blow it up to whatever size you want, and it doesn't lose the resolution because it's so good. And the Range Doctor design is more affordable, and their covers are fantastic. The designers that they have are insanely good. So the cover is an investment. If you really want to be serious about being an author, as a writer, as an author, you want to invest in your cover. I would say that's the best investment you can make. Get a fantastic cover. I'll show you another cover from another author that you might know. He's really good. And this is a cover I have. And this cover looks fantastic. Does you guys recognize this guy? You know this guy? This cover is awesome. But there's a little bit of reflection from the screen. So that cover looks great. It's done by Deranged. And so it's right here on my desk because, you know, awesome covers. So always invest in your covers. Okay? That's like awesome. Dolly, next question. Where would you like to visit that you have not yet been to?
I'm gonna have time to think about it, but pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm sorry, it's not a very specific.
No, it doesn't have to be
I
specific.
don't have a list of where I would go first. There are way too many places in the
Mhm.
world that are
World's a big place. You got a lot of places to go.
amazing.
Yeah.
That I want to go to.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Next question. I'll get to that in a moment, Suma. Okay. Next question from Audrey. What old movie from the past do you still watch? Princess Bride, because it's Princess Bride. The Matrix. What old movie do I still watch? Do you know? Anything I watch regularly? John Wick. John Wick, but that's not really from the past. Star Wars, because I'm studying conflict in storytelling, and Star Wars is like the perfect. Geez, it's hard to describe a better expression of a villain than Darth Vader and how it's done in the first 3 movies of Star Wars. So I'll still watch that every so often just to remember the feel. I mean, I still remember what it was like. I was sitting in the Ziegfeld Theater in I played hooky from school, and I went to Manhattan. I'm sitting in the Ziegfeld Theater, and it was the first showing of Star Wars, so I had stood in line for hours, and I see the first ship come out, which is Leia's ship. This is the beginning of the movie, and then the destroyer, and so I'm sitting in the theater. I'm in the middle of the theater, so I'm right next to speakers because we had surround sound. The sound of the destroyer, it felt like it was coming from the back of the theater. Like most of us turned, we did like this, and all you see is the point come out, right? And then it just keeps going. This enormous ship yeah, it's hard to replicate that anywhere else. And so I study Star Wars, the first 3 movies, to kind of get the art of storytelling and how to present villains and heroes and conflict, because it's still excellent, and many stories since that time have built upon the Star Wars stories. That's all. So that's an old movies from the past that I watch. Now, if you want to go way back, I'll watch movies like Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, because that's another great way of storytelling, and that too has been used many times to tell stories like the Magnificent Seven and things like that. So I'll watch stuff like that. Okay. Let me read because you guys have been writing. Chris says, "Oh, Fluff Chick says, love the covers. Thank you. I can't take complete credit for them because I kind of nudge the Range Doctors, but they're the ones who design the amazingness." Chris says, "A cover and an editor are the 2 most important things an author must spend money." Yes, I agree. If you're an author and you want to write a book and you've written your book, but you want to put your book out into the world, you need to invest in a cover and an editor. for real. That's like not even negotiable. You have to. And I know there are people who are going to say no, you could do without it. And I know authors who've done it without. And you know what? Usually they go back and have their book edited, and then they have a cover designed. So cover and editor are really the two most important things to invest in you if you want to take this seriously. Yeah. Will Simon be able to speak with Callie the way he speaks with Peaches? No, because he doesn't share a bond with Callie that way. So the way he speaks with Peaches is because he's they're bond mates. So I don't think that's ever gonna happen. As you wish, yes, as you wish. Famous 3 words. It's in every one of my. I believe it. I've put so many Princess Bride comments in my books. It's amazing. Let's see. Wendy says, "Are we going to see more background?" Yes, Monty's mom. Yes, because we have to. Yeah. That's another one that's been a really slow burn. Like, there's not been much information about Monty's mom or that side of his family, and it's going to start coming out. Jeez. Ooh. Okay. You see, again, it's not that I'm dazed. It's that I'm looking at where it's going to start coming out. It's going to start coming out around book 32, 33, 34 is when Monty's side of the family, Monty's mom's side of the family, you're going to start seeing them appear in the books because of what happens to Monty. Yeah. Not Simon's family. That's for a while. Simon's family, that's because Simon has to work through a lot of things, and Simon's family, that's going to be much further on. Yeah. Do you experience book creep where good ideas from books you've read show up in your? No, that's why I don't read other books similar to my books when I'm writing my books. So I don't read urban fantasy when I'm in the middle of a story, which means I rarely read urban fantasy because I'm almost constantly writing urban, unless I'm writing like the Blackjacks, which is it's a space opera, then I'll read urban fantasy because I'm writing space opera. So I'm not going to, the ideas aren't going to, by osmosis or whatever, get into my book because it can happen. I've never had it happen, but it can happen. But I'll give you an example. The last Steve McHugh book, the last novella with Mordred, I did not read that until I was done writing Shield Bearer because it had come out prior to Shield Bearer, and I was still writing it, and then he dropped his novella, and I want to read this, but I can't read this because I don't want any of these ideas that might be in his story because the worlds are so similar, in many respects they're similar. I don't want any of Helquin, Mordred, any of that might bleed into my book. So no, but that's my strict policy that when I'm reading something, I don't read what I'm writing. So I try to stay away from urban fantasy. And I read really, really, really fast. So I'll read urban fantasy in between books. And if I'm writing a book that's not urban fantasy, like Fate of the Dark Mages is urban fantasy romance, it's romantasy, I might read something urban fantasy-ish because there's different elements in Fate of the Dark Mages. But because I'm writing this novella that I'm currently writing, and it's set in Duskblader is very urban fantasy. I'm not reading any urban fantasy right now. Yeah, it's not that I can't, it's that I won't, and it also conflicts with my brain. Like my brain is reading it, and it's weird because then when I start writing, those ideas are still there. So I don't want to have that bleed in. Hi, who's this? Who didn't realize everything? Yeah. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry, Linda. I totally apologize. It's my fault completely because I didn't put up the notice early enough, and it's very, very, very last minute. But you made it, and we have like at least 5 minutes more. So you're here for at least the 5 minutes of the show. So yes. But that's another thing that I don't do often, although I do with the youngest Valkyrie, is I watch anime with her. But the anime that I watch is, again, particular genres of anime I can't watch because the bleed, it gets into my head. Paige, take care. Grocery delivery. I'm glad you're getting your groceries. Go for it. Bye, Paige. Thank you for being here and have a great weekend. Who thanks me for the UFC? That sounds like Anthony. Yes. Listen, I love urban fantasy. I haven't been able to read Benedict Jacta because his book is. I have the new book. I just haven't been able to read it. But I'll tell you what I am reading. I don't think this is urban fantasy, but it's really good. I'll tell you, it's on my phone. That's why you see me. The Invisible Library series by, I don't know, I have the author name here somewhere. Hold on. Genevieve Congdon, I think is the name. Genevieve Cogman. Genevieve Cogman. We'll L3 it. I'll definitely L3 it. Wow, really good story. I'm kind of getting into it. So it's a little slow in the beginning, but she writes well. So, and it's not urban fantasy. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like it's hard to explain what the genre is. It's definitely fantasy. But you know what? I'll just L3 it and you guys can look it up. She writes really well, so I definitely recommend it. The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. Very good story. Really good story so far. I've just started it, so I can tell you I'm only like 3 chapters in. I read it in between, in snippets. I go to the bathroom and I'll read it. I'll go somewhere, I'm standing for something, I'll read it. Like I'll read chapters, like snippets at a part. Okay, Chris says, talking good covers. My first cover is perfect. All 3 characters, and it tells the story with the nuclear. Yeah, it's all there. I have your cover. I have that cover sitting there. Mixed Magic. It's right there. So definitely. That's what you want a cover to do. You kind of want a cover to tell the story without it being on the nose. So I'll give you an example. So every M&S to kind of break down a cover. This could be like a little cover class. So to break down a cover, right? You look. The contrast, the contrast has to be clear so that even though this is big right here, when it's online, it's going to be postage stamp size. So that you have to be able to read. You have to be able to read the title. That's important. Wow, we really should do a cover breakdown class. So you have to know what the book is about, which is why it's all this magic is everywhere, right? And you see, Monty has magic in his hand. Simon does not. He has a gun. So it kind of tells you what the characters are. You have to have the right color contrast. So you know that there's red in the back, blue in the front, and red in the title. Also important to have that contrast so that the title stands out. Then there's the branding of the series, which is the Endless Knot. That's important. If you look at all my books, there's some kind of branding because at a glance, you can see, oh, that's a Monty Strong book because you see the Endless Knot. And you also see the Parthenon or some Greek structure. I don't know if that's exactly the Parthenon, but a Greek structure in the back. So it kind of tells you where they're going in this story. And that's all from just looking at the image. It kind of tells you that. And so and that's how you kind of, you create a cover. There's more, obviously, there's a lot more picking out fonts and positioning of things, but that's kind of a quick overview. Who's got to run? Need to get the old man from work. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Joe? Bye, Joe. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. It's awesome to have you here. All right, so our next mob is the 22nd of November, which is right before Thanksgiving, and this is our Thanksgiving month. But we're the mob. Every month is Thanksgiving for us. So every Monday is our gratitude day, and we should be giving gratitude. We should have gratitude every day for just being here, right? But I want to say thank you to all of you for being here today, even though it was super late notice. We've had a large crowd. Yeah, I kind of, you don't want to destroy the Parthenon, just like the Tower of London. I still have readers giving me grief about the Tower of London, which was I don't know how many books ago, and we didn't blow up did we blow up the Tower of London? Damaged it. It got lightly renovated, but not blow it up. Things been around centuries. Same thing with the Parthenon. All right. Thank you so much for being here, guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. Each show, I am amazed that you guys are here. We hang out, we talk, we have some coffee. At least I have some coffee, and we get to discuss a whole bunch of stuff. This is our safe space, guys. This and the mob itself on Facebook is our safe space. So please feel free to go there and just spend some time with like-minded individuals that are here. We're here to support each other. And if you're feeling a little bit of despair, don't, because the mob is here for you and we will get through everything and anything together. So have a great day. Don't forget the 3 B's. Be kind, be unstoppable, and if you watch CWW, you know this last one, be uncommon. All right, before we go, 10 people, 1 through 7, so we can close it out with our theme music. Yes, together we do stand. All right, come on. 1 through 7. Give me a number 1 through 7. Quick. Before we close it up. See, we got 7, 6, 5, 6, 4, 7. Looks it's like it's between 7 and 6. Looks 1, 2, 3. I see 3 6s. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? 7. How many 7s are there? 1, 2. Oh, it's a tie. Really? You guys? All right. One more person. Give him a number.
It's only 2 6s.
No, it's 3 6s. 1, 2, 3. 3 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4 7s. 7 it is. 3.14. Thank you. Is that Anthony again? Yeah, I thought that was you, Anthony. All right. I'm going to take off my scary face. By the way, you see my beard? I'm going to brag. I trimmed it myself for the first time in I don't know how long. I got this new trimmer. If you guys want grooming advice, author grooming advice, I'll send me a PM and I'll let you know what facial grooming advice. Facial author grooming advice. Oh, author facial grooming. Oh, okay. Beard grooming advice. How's that? Send me a PM and I'll share what I've done. But I kind of what happened was I had an epiphany. The last time I went to my barber, who's amazing, he's fantastic, he's really good, and he's Dominican like me. So we're like, yo, family. He did everything, and then I'm looking at it like, hello, I could do that. It's not that hard. I could do that, right? It's kind of like when you want to write a book, right? I could do that. I could write a book. But in this case, it wasn't like writing a book. I actually could do it because I've had practice doing it. So I decided to go the route and start doing it myself. Now, if one day you see a Kaffeeklatsch and you only see a goatee, you know that I've had a mishap, or no beard. You know, there was an accident somewhere. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be kind, be unstoppable, and be uncommon. Let's close it out. I'm going to take off my scary face. Take care, guys. I'm going to put the music. I'm going to put the music now. It's 7, right? So let's just do that. Boom. Music is coming on. All right, take care, guys. Bye.